let's get into the anatomy of a Watchkit app. If you can see in the diagram here, I've got on the left the user's iPhone, and on the right, the user's Apple Watch. On the left, in the iPhone, we have the iOS app and the Watchkit extension, and those are what contain the models and controllers needed to support your Watchkit app. On the right, we've got the Watchkit app itself. And in the Watchkit app, you have storyboards and resource files, essentially the views and static images, but no code. What happens is when the user, say for example, taps on the watch within your app, an event is fired. And the event is registered over here on the user's iPhone. Now in your Watchkit extension, you'll determine what view to display to the user over on the watch. So that's why we have the update view down here. So just remember that there's three pieces. iOS app, which is a container, contains your Watchkit extension and Watchkit app. It runs on the user's iPhone. There's a Watchkit extension that also runs on the user's iPhone. It contains the code and resource files for managing your Watchkit's app interface. And over here is where the Watchkit app lives, on the user's watch. It does not contain any code. So now let's fire up Xcode beta again. So if you want to use Spotlight, Command Space, start typing Xcode beta, hit enter. That opens up Xcode. Let's go ahead and create a new Xcode project. Choose single view application, click next, give it a name, and let's just call it Anatomy of Watchkit app. Don't check core data, keep languages Swift, devices as iPhone. Go ahead and click next. Save it in the same place. Resave the other one. Okay, so if you look over here on the left, you'll see three different folders. The first folder is the core of your iOS app. Now, if you remember, we haven't yet done anything with the Watchkit app for this project, so we'll need to add that target like we did in a previous video, and I'll get to that in a minute. So just at this point, it's a simple iOS app. Okay. For now, go ahead and delete the test folder. For more advanced programming, you'll definitely need tests, but for these samples, we are not going to do tests, just so that you can learn how to build the app. So if you come in here, you'll see that this looks like a typical iOS app. And now, since this course isn't designed for iOS apps, and it's specific to Watchkit, I'm not going to get into the details of an iOS app, but as you can see, there it is. Let's go ahead and add the Watchkit target. So go ahead and go File, New, Target. Choose Apple Watch, Watchkit app. So you can see a lot is filled in for us. Uncheck Include Notifications Scene. Go ahead and click Finish. Sure, activate, that's fine. Now, if you collapse that, you'll see that we've got three folders now. We've got in here the original iOS app. In here we've got the Watchkit extension. And in here we have the actual Watchkit app. So if you expand all three, you'll be able to see here's the iOS app, here's the extension. Okay, the extension does contain a controller. All right, and this controller, we're going to get into more details around controllers, but this is essentially the code that runs in response to events that happen in your Watchkit app. There's an images folder, so you can add images in your extension and supporting files. I won't get into the details of this, but in more advanced videos, I'll explain to you what a plist file is and how you can read from it. If you look at the Watchkit app side, we've got a storyboard. So if you take a look at that, that's your interface. That's all that exists on the Watchkit apps side. Okay, you can also store images here, and we've also got supporting files, so another plist. Now you may be wondering why there's images here in the Watchkit app, and there's also images here in the Watchkit extension. It all really depends on the design of your app, and we'll get into more details of how and where you want to put images into which one, but just know that if you store images here on the extension side, if they're required in your Watchkit app, then when they're accessed, if it doesn't already exist in the Watchkit app, that image is going to be transferred wirelessly through Bluetooth to your Watchkit app. So just be aware of that. So there you have it, the three main pieces of a Watchkit app: the iOS app, the Watchkit extension, and the Watchkit app.